Hey, you guys. This is an impromptu live. Let me go to my most recent. I was reading through the Becca Diet program book tonight, and I know a couple of you guys have asked about my thoughts on that. And there is a particularly challenging section in here for the holidays that I wanted to talk about. And then I also want to talk about the 3 W's this week. So, first of all, I am goal setting in a way that I don't normally do. And the reason that I'm doing this is because Judah's wedding is coming up. And for whatever reason, this is extremely motivating. Hi, Kelly and Joyce and Cheryl. And so I'm actually making some more definitive goals for myself. And obviously if I don't reach them, I will adjust. But I want to lose another 1.4 this week at my next weigh-in on Saturday. So how am I planning on doing that? And we can't always control our bodies, but this is fun for me right now. So I'm trying to keep it fun, keep it fresh, do something a little bit different. And so I have a 1.4 goal for this week. So let's see if we can do it. And I'm going to do it with the 3 W's. The 3 W's for me right now are very basic. And I think with any of our plans that we're on, you can work the 3 W's. So I want you to remember the 3 W's. The first one is WW. In other words, tracking. So tracking is absolutely foundational and fundamental to the Weight Watchers program. You have to track your smart points. You do not have to track your 0 points. Now, for a lot of us, it's beneficial to track 0 points. You don't have to, but you have to track your smart points. And you really do have to stay within your points range. So that's my first W is WW. And I don't care where you're tracking, if it's on your app, if it's on paper. Half the time I've been tracking in my journal lately, and my app is not matching up, and I don't actually really care. I don't really care about wins. I'm just, that doesn't motivate me. So what's motivating me right now is this goal that I have. And I'd like to challenge you guys for 2020 to maybe change it up a little bit and set some actual goals, like dates. Where do you want to be on certain dates? Maybe you're going to pick Hallmark dates like February 14th. I want to be X. And then commit to it and write it down somewhere. I am writing these goals down in my planner. This is the planner that I'm using right now, my daily planner. I also have my weight loss journal that's actually in my bedroom right now because I've been writing down. The night before I eat, I've been writing down what I'm going to eat the next day. This is from Bright Line Eating that I read last Lent. This is a technique from Bright Line Eating where the night before you write down, you set it in stone what you're going to eat the next day. And sometimes that changes. And then I'll go back and fix it. But I'm doing that every night. So I'd like to hear from you guys that want to participate. And of course, this is optional. I'd like to hear some dates. And, whether it's a number on the scale, whether it's a dress size, maybe it's an activity level, like you want to be able to do a 5K. You want to be able to walk around the block, whatever it is. There's a wide spectrum there because this is so individualized. So we have the WW, which is tracking. The second one for me is water. And I've had a long conversation with Anita. Yesterday, we were talking about this. And the last few weeks, something that I have upped, and I've talked about this here on my channel, is my water intake. When I was doing keto for the 2 months that I did it, and I'm not an expert, water was very much de-emphasized because you can kind of wash out a lot of your electrolytes when you're on keto because you're in ketosis. Now, what I have found, and that's all I'm going to say about that because that's a whole other, I'm not on keto. So if you're on keto, go watch the Keto Masters because there's a lot of them out there. For myself, though, I had kind of backed off on the water a little bit, using that as like permission to not have to drink water. Because you guys know I'm not really a water person, right? So hi, Lisa in Michigan. So, I'm not really a water person, and I have upped my water. And one thing that I have been doing, and I'm going to challenge you guys this week to do this. I like my water like this, if it's going to be plain. These are the glasses I like. They're from IKEA. I don't know why. I like the shape of them. I like the filtered water out of my refrigerator. And I have been drinking one whole glass, this size. I fill it to the top. I just drank some a little while ago. One full glass before each meal. So I want to challenge you guys this week for the second W of my 3 W's. So WW, you're going to track. My second W is water. And specifically, I want to challenge you guys to drink a glass of water before you eat a meal. Let's see if you can do it. I'm going to do it. So if you want to do it with me, and let's see if it helps us. The third W in my 3 W's is going to be walking. And I have noticed that when I attempt to get my steps, you know what? It's not even about getting my steps. It is the intentional commitment to trying to move more that I see my weight decreasing. And it's not even about working out hard, you guys. This is about just getting more movement. And so last week I was anywhere between 3,000 to 5,000 steps. I got some days with 10,000 steps. I always have my Fitbit on, so I'm always tracking my steps. And I know we've had challenges out there and stuff. And so thank you guys for challenging me over on Fitbit. I think at this point I have so much social media going on that it's hard for me to keep track of another platform like that in terms of challenges. But I am over there. I don't know what my name is over there. Do you guys know? Maybe you guys know. Man, Michigan, you guys are representing. Hi, Michelle. How are you? Everyone say hi to Michelle. She's one of my moderators over here. I appreciate you, Michelle. Tanya is going to put it out there. Oh my goodness, we've got some people putting out numbers. I love this. Okay, so you guys are totally taking me up on this. So Tanya wants to be down 5 pounds before New Year's. And Tanya, I want to tell you, you can do it. We can't put these numbers out there and then be like, oh, but if I don't, it's fine. That gives yourself permission to not do it. So let's just say I'm going to do it. I will do it. Commit to it. And then deal with it when you get there. You know what I'm saying? I want you guys to get your calendars out and write some numbers down. I don't care if you want to be a size 18. You want to be able to, walk a mile, whatever it is. And then I want you to timestamp that. I'm not trying to set you guys up for failure, but I want us to make a little bit more aggressive goals. And I want us to stop wimping out on ourselves. Because I feel like I'm talking about myself. I have given myself so many excuses, and I have wimped out. My thing says read cards. I'm supposed to be reading my Becca Diet cards right now. We will do that in a moment. I'm tired of wimping out on myself. And so I have places I want to be with this. That's why I am paying for WW. That's why I have been doing this for 2 years. It's not so I can maintain 249 pounds now. Sorry. I'm so excited to be in the 240s again. You guys have no idea. I worked hard for that. But I don't want to maintain this. And I don't want to give myself excuses. Now, if you are that person, you need to maintain right now. I'm giving you permission to do whatever you want to do. I'm just saying, those of you guys that want to be aggressive with me and put some numbers down, let's do it. Why not? Why not do it? So I want to lose 1.4 this week. I'm going a little bit more short term. And then I have a long-term goal. You guys know, I want to be 50 pounds down by Judah's birthday. And that was from my restart weight at Weight Watchers, which was the second week of September. I was at 260 when I restarted. I don't know if we talked about that, but I was at 260. I believe I rejoined the week of 9/11. I didn't really get serious until we were getting closer to the go live situation. Because I was kind of trying to do some low carby stuff, which I still do some of that. I was just, you guys know, I've been here. I've told you. Okay, so we've got the 3 W's, right? We've got the tracking, which is your WW. We've got the water, and I'm challenging you guys to drink a full glass of water. Not this size. Okay, and I'm not talking about the real big ones either. Just a full glass of water before you eat a meal. Let's try to do that. If you need to do that in addition to what you're doing already, don't go into like water intoxication or anything, but let's keep it reasonable. And then the other thing I was doing before I came on live is I was reviewing some of my Becca Diet stuff. And I hit one that is really hard for us during the holidays. This is going to be under day 7. If you're reading the Becca Diet solution, this is under day 7. So basically you implement one thing at a time. It is taking me a long time to implement these steps. So it is not taking me 7 days, you guys. It's taking me a few months. Oh, you guys are all committing. I love this. I'm going to hold you guys to this. I'm going to go back and read all these. So here's the one that's hard during the holidays. It's called Arrange Your Environment. And I have been talking to you guys a lot about being honest with ourselves, being able to trust ourselves, and also living in reality here. Let's live in reality. So I was in my cupboard earlier, and I always pride myself with, I don't have Reese's peanut butter cups in the house, and I don't have cookies in the house. And I've turned down, I had potluck today and I was so good. I brought my protein bar and my diet Zevia, and I didn't eat anything at Pop. I'm very like superior to myself here. I'm Amy superior. And then I was in the cupboard tonight. I had a big salad for dinner. I was in the cupboard, and here I have all of the healthy junk. And you guys know what I'm talking about. I have all kinds of healthy junk, whatever that looks like to you. And it's all the things that could really derail me. So I have a lot of the Lily's chocolate. I have a lot of the little mini M&Ms because I was going to make some cookies. Well, very slowly, the little mini M&Ms are finding their way into my mouth, right? There's just like a lot of that kind of stuff in there. And my thing is, you guys, I used to have teenage boys and I could use them as an excuse. My husband is fasting right now. I have no excuses. So, and I'm really trying to eliminate a lot of the excuses. So let's just kind of put those aside for a second and let's talk about arranging our environment. And you tell me how difficult this is for you during the holidays, because it's very difficult for me. Number 1, let's see. Changes at home. Remove your personal temptations. Okay, I thought for sure that I was there, you guys. I'm like, I don't have any. I have only healthy temptations. Okay, I do have temptations in there, you guys. Things that trigger me. I was posting about the Jif whipped peanut butter. Jif whipped peanut butter does not trigger me the way that those little dang M&Ms and the little Lily's chocolate morsels do. Okay, so this is a call for me to get rid of those things. Well, guess what? I have neighbors that I need to make Christmas cookies for. So am I going to man up and actually give that stuff away? Because, I hate to throw it away. You get what I'm saying? So open all of the food cabinets and if possible, give away or throw out the foods that could tempt you to go off of your plan. I think during the holidays, listen, do we want to roll up to January 1st 10 pounds heavier or maybe a few pounds lighter? Like, where do you guys want to be on January 1st? I'm tired of January 1st rolling around and me being bigger than ever and having to restart on January 1st. Why not restart right now? I don't know. I'm just saying. Like, when does your life start? You know what I mean? Don't worry about throwing out food. It's going to get wasted one way or another, either in the trash can or in your body. Okay. I am all about like not wasting food. And I think there's lots of options. I work with a bunch of nurses that I can bring goodies to. I have neighbors, I have church. But what they're saying right there is garbage is garbage. Okay. And that's a hard one for me to hear, you guys. That's not how I was raised. I was raised, clean your plate, don't waste things, don't throw out food, use everything in the refrigerator and the freezer. But are those foods serving you? And then also, if they're not serving you, do you really want to give them away to somebody that you love? I don't know. I'm just asking. Tanya says she needs to remove her temptation to sit on the couch and replace it with a treadmill in front of the TV instead. And you guys, this is all, I'm talking to myself here. I hope you know that, because I don't know you all in real life. So I can't look in your cupboards, but I know I have a snack basket in my cupboard that's for my husband. I'm not going to tell you what's in the snack basket. Okay? So, rearrange your dishes. So, here's kind of an interesting tip, and you guys know this. And as we're going towards more holiday meals, researchers have shown that people overeat when they use large dishes. Did you know that? So I have big plates, I have little plates. They're saying put the little plates at the forefront. And I think that this could really serve us well, especially on, like for me, we celebrate Christmas. So on Christmas Day, I'm going to have my whole family over here. I'm going to be cooking for them. And I could use a smaller plate. I have smaller plates. I can use smaller plates. I can put smaller plates out for my family. We don't need to gorge ourselves. So what do you guys think about that? That's a challenge too, isn't it? Because we all want to use our big, pretty plates. Let's see. Researchers at the University of Illinois found that party goers who used large spoons or large bowls scooped considerably more ice cream than those who used smaller utensils and bowls. And I'm all about portion control. So why not switch from the big bowl to a small cup if you're going to do ice cream, or, a smaller spoon. Every once in a while, I'll have like a little bit of ice cream and I eat with a little tiny spoon instead of a big spoon, and it goes a little bit slower in. I have not been buying the chili cow ice cream or any of the other ice creams because they have a high abuse potential for me. So I haven't eaten that in a while. So it says consider others. So if you share your kitchen with others, you need to enlist their cooperation to keep tempting foods out of sight. So I know that's like kind of a big excuse for all of us. And I feel like it's a valid one, that there are other people living in our homes. So what can we do to help alleviate that problem? Can they have their own special cabinet, their own special drawer, their own special snack basket, which is what my husband has? And it's kind of out of sight, out of mind. I need to put it probably somewhere else. So does this mean you have to tell everybody that you're on a diet? No, that's your own business. You don't have to go around and tell people you're on a diet, but you can say, oh, I'm just trying to eat more healthy. Thankfully, in our culture now, that's more widely accepted for us to say, to advocate for ourselves and say we want to eat more healthy, be more healthy, move more, all that. So it's perfectly acceptable to say that if you feel comfortable. Let's see. Do creative problem solving. So how are you going to reduce environmental triggers? And I think this time of year, there is such a temptation to just go overboard. And I know a lot of my friends out there, you guys just choose one day, maybe it's Christmas Day or whatever you celebrate, and you use that day to just give yourself permission to enjoy, and that's cool. But what are you doing on the surrounding days? Do you have the leftovers? Do you have we used to do a cookie exchange. Have you guys ever done that before? Where everybody makes a few dozen cookies and you bring big platters and then you share the cookies. Really fun. But guess what? Amy came home. This is back when I weighed 288 pounds. Amy came home with a platter of cookies. And I had two little boys that can't eat a platter of cookies. And my skinny husband, who at that time worked construction. So yeah, he would come home and eat cookies, but he couldn't eat a platter of cookies. So when he was out working construction, he would work construction all day long, and then he would go to school at night. This is back when we first got married. Who was left with the platter of cookies? Me. I was left with the platter of cookies. And every time I walked by the kitchen, I'd have a cookie. And this went on for a few years, where I lived in this community where we would do this cookie exchange. And I always had great intentions of, bag the cookies up and give them away or whatever. I didn't. I ate the cookies. I ate them and I gained weight. So Oh, Amy Baker's going to Disney. So Amy, yes, you will. You'll get lots of steps there, and you can drink water at Disney. So, and you can track, even if you're going to go above and beyond your points, track your smart points. At least try. Put corn dog in. It will pull up, Disney corn dog. Put a corn dog in. It'll pull it up. Track it. I don't know what else you like. The little mouse ear ice cream bar. Put ice cream sundae bar or something in there. You can track everything. Just track. Just try to stay accountable and try to keep up with that good habit. Okay. You may have 90 points for the day, and you may give yourself permission for that, but at least you'll know you tracked it. And you have some idea of what things are. It's interesting when I track now, there are things that I was like, I would never eat that because I thought the points were so high. And the points are lower than like some of my favorite salads that I used to get all the time. And I'm like, oh, I could have had the hamburger. What the heck? So it's important to be honest with ourselves. And I'm not telling you have to track. I'm just saying that might be an option for you. Let's see. Gabby P. I love this, Gabby. You used to tell everybody that you were on Atkins, so no one would offer you dessert. I love that. Are people on Atkins still? I'm not really exactly sure. Eva Seville says that they have an empty nest, so it's nice that your husband likes whatever you cook, and he's very supportive. I love that. Tanya tells her husband to hide his stash. Let's see. Ann Mitch says, my leader just told us, waste your food on your hips or waste it into the garbage. Yeah. And a few weeks ago, I was at my meeting. I think I shared this with you guys. We were talking about the little smart cakes that are 1 point a piece that you can get now. They're called smart cakes. And they come 2 to a package. And I think they're like $3 and some change a piece. And I very vocally said, and normally I try not to talk too much, but you know me, I was like, well, they're kind of pricey. I was talking about the smart cakes and I said, yeah, they're kind of pricey, you guys. And my leader said, well, you can spend the money now on the healthy food, or you can spend the money later at the doctor's office. And I was like, how true is that? And so, yeah, eating healthy is expensive, you guys. It is expensive. Judy says she doesn't like those cakes at all. Hi, Anita. How are you? So anyway, I just wanted to share some of those ideas about your environment, controlling your environment. This one really hit me hard, and it's probably one of the harder sections for me because I will allow myself to have things that I think I'm not going to be tempted by or abuse. I'll be like, oh, it's the holidays. I'm going to let myself have the white chocolate Reese's peanut butter Christmas trees in the house, and I'm going to save them for the boys. Well, what do you think has happened? Are there any left for the boys? I have to answer that question yourself. So anyway, I just wanted to I just wanted to challenge you guys to some of those changes. The Becca Diet solution also talks about changing your environment at work. And I work out of my car and I have an office. So for me, that has meant making sure I have emergency Weight Watcher friendly snacks on hand. I am staying away from drive-thrus, you guys. I have really nipped that in the bud. I bought that soup thermos. I think I've shown you guys in some previous vlogs from Amazon. And I have been making soup and taking it with me. So if I get stuck out on a country road somewhere and there's nothing to eat, there's always a McDonald's in these areas. It's so crazy. But you can be out in Podunk, wherever, where the poorest of the poor live, and you will always find, a gas station and a McDonald's combo or something. And I used to go through the McDonald's because I was hungry. Well, now I have the thermos, and I can just, pull over, uncap it. A lot of times I pull over in the McDonald's drive-thru, uncap it. I can eat my soup out of it, and I have a warm, hot soup that is low point, and I have not gone off my program. So I just feel like that's wonderful. So yeah, controlling your work environment. A lot of you guys have mentioned that you can't go in the break room at this time of year, or you've asked your coworkers, hey, can you not bring the donuts over here in the morning, or whatever, whatever you need to do for yourself. And a lot of times I have found that my coworkers are in the same boat. Like, they all want to get healthy too. So you could say, hey, instead of tomorrow making it cookie day, let's all bring healthy foods for a potluck or something. I'm sure you'll find that a lot of people would be open to that. You can always try. There are no guarantees. I've worked in a lot of environments with a lot of hangry nurses and doctors, and I've seen it all. I used to work with this OBGYN, this chief OB, and he used to make his famous guacamole, and he would bring in all these avocados and he would put on sterile gloves and he would go into the break room and make a huge basin that it was obviously a clean basin, but the kind that we would clean our patients with, a huge basin of guacamole, and to turn down his guacamole was an anathema, you would never turn down his guacamole. So nurses at 2 a.m. are hungry, they're hangry. So I get it. Telling them to eat a vegetable, you might get your head ripped off, but got to do what you got to do. Robert, yes, Robert works in healthcare. So Robert, all about hangry healthcare workers. Don't mess with the hangry healthcare workers. You might just have to work on yourself first. And then when they see your amazing results, they're going to be like, Amy, what have you been doing? And you can say, well, I didn't eat any of Dr. So-and-so's guacamole or any of your cookies. Instead, I have been bringing veggie trays. And they might go, oh, well, maybe we want to do that as well. Maybe not. We'll see. But anyway, those are just some ideas. I know you guys have been asking about the Becca Diet system. Diet solution, the Becca Diet solution. The Becca Diet solution book is not a diet. It is just a way to approach any kind of eating plan in a different way. The one step that I'm really struggling right now is the intentional eating, which is where you're not distracted when you're eating. And my husband and I are just not there right now. I will admit we have music on, we have the TV on, we're talking, whatever. I don't just sit there and stare at my plate of food. So that one is going to take me some work. Also, they talk a lot about slowing down when you're eating, and that's another area. I don't think I eat fast. It's more like I'm just not registering up here that I'm eating. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? You're like, oh, I was talking so much, I didn't realize I ate 4 pieces of pizza, or whatever. So anyway, let's see if there's any other comments before I go. Oh, there's a lot of people in here. It's good to see you guys. Thanks for commenting. Lori McCauley says, I'm going to New Orleans. Don't kill me. For the week, and I'm going to track everything, and it's going to be hard. You know what? It will be difficult, but I would just say track before you put it in your mouth. Just track it. Or if you're on your way to the restaurant, or you're going to have a beignet or whatever, just get up in the morning. I'm going to have a beignet and coffee. Put it in there. The points probably be high. Put it down. You're going to go later and have some crawfish. I don't know. Some etouffee. That sounds delicious. Oh my gosh, some shrimp and grits. Just put that sucker in there and you'll be so glad that you tracked it. There'll probably be a lot of things in there that you're like, I didn't realize the points were lower. And there'll be some that'll be like, wow, I'm really splurging. But it's a good habit to be in. So Gabby says they're calling Atkins keto now. I think Atkins is more low carb. I'm not exactly sure. Judy says that she uses small bowls always. That's a really good tip. And I have big bowls. You guys have seen my salad bowls before. I have big bowl salads. So, but my actual serving plates for my meals could be smaller. So I'm going to work on that for sure. Amy Baker says she needs more willpower. Amy Baker, don't we all? I wish you could buy it in a bottle. You know what I mean? Transforming Melody. Hi, Transforming Melody. She has a channel over here and she just restarted WW. Melody, are you doing green? I can't remember what you're doing. She says she wants to be lighter for sure. Let's see. Joan Addix says that she thinks the 2-point Weight Watcher snacks are not for me. They are tempting and they're so small. Joan, I noticed that too. The Weight Watcher snacks, they're expensive, they're small, they're high in points for what you get, and you can find better snacks out there for the amount of points that you're going to spend. You can make things, that are just as tasty, that are more bulky, that actually kind of fill you up. To me, it's kind of surprising that Weight Watchers focuses so much on these healthy 0-point food lists, but they sell junk at the workshops. And I've bought those before. I love them. I've had them in my car before. I do not currently have any because they have a high abuse potential. I found that out when I was stress eating the beginning of this year. I had a box of the peanut butter whatevers, and I ate through 4 or 5 of those before I realized what I was doing. And I was like, I can't have these in the house anymore. So I don't buy those. And I know Weight Watchers probably can't sell fresh produce at their workshops. And I know they're also a company and they want to make money. But I would say I don't really know about the processed snack situation going on there. So that's all I'm going to say about that. Adsy says, you just eat whatever you want and you try not to go over 1,400 calories a day. I know a lot of people do calorie counting and they do really well at that. So good for you. Lenny Mace fills, I don't know if you're a man or a woman, you fill your plate and you try to fill half of it with veggies, a fourth with a carb, and a fourth with your protein. And, Weight Watchers, they used to give you a plate that had that on there. It was like stenciled on there. I'll have to show you sometime. I have one somewhere. I joined once and they mailed me this plate and I was like, what the heck? What's with all the dots? And sure enough, it was portion sizes for stuff. Have I ever used it? No, it's in a cupboard somewhere. So I haven't used it for that specifically, but I probably should have. Maybe I would have done a little bit better. Adsy says that you were 315 in January and now you're 206. So tell me this, Adsy, tell me, did you make yourself some specific goals? I have been watching a lot of people on YouTube doing different plans, and a lot of them really advocate for making, goals, writing down goals for themselves. And I don't know, it's a new approach. I'm going to try it for sure. Wow, there's a lot of comments on here. You guys are totally talking to each other. I love seeing that. So I'm glad that I could open up a chat for you guys to talk. This is great. You guys have lots of different ideas. Susan Thompson, I like this. She takes a different approach. She walks into the break room, and when she sees those cookies, she practices saying no. And I think I've told you guys this before, but no is a complete sentence. And I tell my patients this a lot, and they look at me like they have just never thought of it like that. No period is actually a complete sentence. And if you want to be Southern and polite, you could say no, thank you. And that's a complete sentence. We don't always have to make up excuses or reasons or justify why we're doing what we're doing. And so when people are offering, like today at church, I had several offers of amazing looking things. And I said, no, thank you. And then I would take a sip of my, drink that I had with me. And then I would change the subject. Or talk to somebody else or whatever. And you don't have to explain, I'm on Weight Watchers. I need to lose 75 pounds. I mean, can you imagine if you just walked around and did that all day long? It would be like an SNL skit or something. So no is a complete sentence. You guys can say no. All of these holiday events that, you guys are going to, if you're going to holiday events or you have people that are food pushers in your life, I know we all have some of those, that they just want to see you eat because it's fun. You can just say, no, thank you. I'm good. No, thank you, or whatever. It is a complete sentence. So, all right, guys, I'm going to get going. Oh, Michelle, you've never got one of those plates? Michelle, I'm going to have to post a picture of that plate, or maybe I can find it. I'll show it one of my next lives. All right, guys, I'm going to get going. Like I promised, I would talk to you guys about Becca Diet Solution. I really probably should have sat here and edited a video that I have, but I don't feel like editing. I just don't. I have a really busy week coming up. So I will for sure probably see you at some point during this week. I have a video on my camera that needs to be edited. So I'm going to try to get that up. And then, of course, I'll be here for weigh-in. So 1.4 is what I'm aiming for this week. I'm just putting it out there. I'm putting it out there. If you need to make yourself a board, like a goal board, and write down, go for it. You know, if you want to write down how many steps you're going to do every day. Tomorrow, I'm going to walk 10,000 steps. That can be your number and your day. So make it a specific goal. And I will see you guys later. Don't forget your 3 W's. WW, water, walking. I feel like that's a good challenge for all of us. And if you can't do the walking, some sort of extra movement, intentional movement is a good thing. See you later. Stay in orbit. Bye.